Imagine standing in the middle of a barren, dust-blown Texas plain. The year is 1930. The air is thick, heavy with the suffocating weight of the Great Depression. Millions of men are walking the streets with empty pockets and broken spirits. The experts, the corporate bankers and the highly trained geologists have all packed up their bags, looked at the dry earth and declared, "There's absolutely nothing there." But one man refuses to pack up. He doesn't look at the barren dirt, he looks beneath it. He doesn't listen to the chorus of no, because his mind is tuned to a completely different frequency. The frequency of absolute unwavering self-belief. The legendary oil tycoon H.L. Hunt once remarked, "Decide what you want, decide what you're willing to exchange for it. Establish your priorities and go to work." He didn't say wait for a lucky break. He didn't say wait for the economy to recover. He said go to work. Today, we are diving into the internal architecture of H.L. Hunt and the foundation of the Hunt Oil Empire. This is a legacy that started with a borrowed $100 and transformed into a powerhouse. But this isn't a story about oil. This is a masterclass in how you turn psychological friction into pure, unadulterated momentum. How does a man with a 5th grade education operating during the worst economic collapse in human history outmaneuver the richest corporations on the planet? How do you go from a bankrupt cotton farmer to the world's most successful independent oil producer? It wasn't luck. It was a repeatable tactical system of mental discipline. A blueprint of resourcefulness that anyone can use to hijack their own destiny. To understand this success, you have to understand the concept of wildcatting. In the oil industry, a wildcat well is a well drilled from an unproven area. It is a high-risk, high-reward gamble. Most people spend their entire lives drilling in proven territory, taking the safe jobs, thinking the safe thoughts and operating strictly within the boundaries of what others have already built. Hunt succeeded because he mastered the internal controls of his own mind. He looked at the chaos of his environment and chose to see it as raw, uninformed potential. Where others felt a surge of panic and treated it as a threat, Hunt treated that pressure as a source of fuel. He leaned into the discomfort of the unknown until the unknown yielded clarity. Look at the turning point of his journey, the East Texas oil field. A lone wildcatter named Dad Joyner had drilled a well called Daisy Bradford No. 3. Everyone thought Joyner was a lunatic. The major oil companies ignored him entirely, but Hunt saw something else. He didn't just look at the geology, he looked at the relentless human spirit behind it. With almost no cash to his name, Hunt negotiated a deal to buy Joyner's leases. He didn't have the money up front, so he used the ultimate currency of leadership, radical honesty, sheer persuasion, and an unshakable vision. He backed his belief with everything he had. When that oil well finally came in, it opened up the largest oil pool in the United States. Hunt didn't find oil because he was lucky. He found oil because he was the only one willing to stand in the storm when everyone else ran for cover. The proof of this principle isn't just in historical bank accounts, it's in the enduring legacy of the enterprise. Decades later, the blueprint remained solid. His descendants took that same relentless internal architecture and expanded globally, proving that when you build a culture on the foundations of self-reliance and strategic decisiveness, your empire can withstand any shifting market or global crisis. Think about it logically. Opportunity is a math game. The individual who refuses to stop drilling will eventually hit a vein. If you stop at the first dry hole, you lose. If you stop when the experts tell you you're wrong, you lose. Hunt's logic was simple. The cost of staying static and rigid was far higher than the cost of moving forward. Growth, resilience, and true sovereignty are found in movement, not in bracing against the challenges of life. So how do you apply this blueprint to your life today? You start by drilling your own wildcat wells. Define your target. Stop waiting for the conditions to be perfect. Decide exactly what market, what goal and what state of mind you want to conquer. Calculate your exchange rate. Decide exactly what you're willing to give up. Are you willing to trade short-term comfort for long-term discipline? Are you willing to trade distractions for legacy? Interrupt the loop. When doubt or anxiety hits your system, do not treat it as a defect. Reframe that stress as the exact tectonic pressure required to create a diamond. Look at your biggest problem not as a permanent barrier, but as your most profound asset growth. If you are facing hardship, an industry shift, or personal exhaustion, good. That is the exact terrain where the largest reservoirs of wisdom and strength are buried. Stop being a passenger to your own circumstances. Grab the controls. You have an incredible amount of mental bandwidth that is currently being wasted on worry. It is time to redirect that internal fire towards your own evolution. Believe in the architecture of your own mind. You are entirely capable of navigating the intersection of logic, execution, and emotional mastery. The world will always have its economic downturns, its skeptics, and its dry holes. But true leadership is about mastering the mental tools required to move from resistance to flow. I challenge you today to step out of your own unproven territory. Stop treating your past struggles as a limitation. Establish your priorities, lock your eyes on the target and go to work. The reservoir is waiting. Go find your oil. You've got this.